Hi, my name's Renee Lazaro and I'm from Boutique Yellow, an interior design company in Melbourne, Australia. In the last few weeks of winter, we've been making a workshop series designed to teach you some tips and techniques that we like to use in the industry to really change our homes. They're simple and basic techniques, but they really make a difference in intentionality and they change the way that our home feels. And so today I wanted to share a lovely little idea that is very straightforward again, but it involves thinking outside of our own homes and thinking towards other people. And in doing so, we actually change the atmosphere of our homes. This little idea is based around a couple of different things that you can get from op shops or when you are out and about and recycling things. That is like a basket, a small little basket that can be found. This little idea that I got was from Bunnings, actually, a nice little Hessian gift bag. And filling those baskets or a nice little gift bag with a meal for someone else. And this meal doesn't necessarily have to be extravagant and lavish. It could be really simple and straightforward. It doesn't have to cost a lot and it doesn't need to spend a huge amount of time. It's just in the gesture of actually dropping something on the doorstep of someone else that's unexpected. And so some suggestions: in our family, we like to eat soup during the winter as our evening meal, and so making a little bit of extra soup is really easy to do. We also are big on making bread. We love doing that at home, but that's not for everyone, and so no need to have a new skill or technique that you do that is not what you would normally do. You can buy a beautiful loaf of bread from a supermarket, and instead of adding it to the package in its own supermarket packaging, you can take it out and wrap just a little bit of baking paper around it and wrap it up with a little brown piece of string, and that will look really beautiful. When we present things to people decoratively or in a thoughtful way of presentation, it really does change the impact of the gift and the way that it's received and the way that it feels. For example, I got some granola from the supermarket and popped it into this jar, which I had at home. So I'm just recycling the jar. I keep this sort of thing, and having a little some granola with a nice little jam, a loaf of bread from the supermarket. Again, that idea of it just being wrapped nicely, a couple of little tea bags going into the basket as well, makes for a really lovely breakfast basket to drop off on someone's doorstep and send them. Another thing that I love to do is just collect some flowers from around the garden or nature strips. So just foraging along, finding some lavender. These ones here that I collected today are some lovely Helleborus, which is the winter rose that we get here in Melbourne at this time of year. And it's a really nice way of just adding a little bit of greenery into your basket. While this is not an interior design technique that I'm teaching you today, it is about changing that atmosphere in your home. When we are generous and intentional towards other people, there is a lovely sense of well-being that flows into us, into our hearts and into our attitudes. And we find that we are joyful and grateful as well for the things that we have. These ideas don't have to be hard. They don't have to be complicated. It's not about creating a huge big hamper that costs a lot of money or going to a great deal of effort. It could just be using things that you have around the home, or just adding a few extra things into your shopping cart when you're out during the week, or adding a little bit extra in your meal provision so that you can be thoughtful and pass on a meal to another person. This is part of our winter workshop series where we have been teaching you tips and techniques for decorating your home with simple ideas that will really bring transformation and refresh you as you step out into spring. Atmosphere change is what we've been talking about today, just in the spirit of doing something lovely for someone else. We hope you enjoy this technique, and you can find us at boutiqueyellow.com.au or on Facebook or Instagram. Thanks for joining me.